indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just to remind council members to turn your microphones on.
Is there any changes to the agenda?
No, Mr. Mayor, there is not.
Get a motion to approve as presented.
So, second.
Who first? Who was the first? Okay, you were the second.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
There's no presentations, proclamations, or acknowledgements. Anybody here for public comment for anything that's not on the agenda? Charlie?
Yeah, 5-minute business, or what is it?
You can have 5 minutes.
Oh, I'll try for 2. Charles Regis, 346 Mary Street. We talked about mailboxes different times. Talked to Kate about it. I thought we had a problem solved or whatever it sounded. We found an alternative spot for it. I didn't hear nothing since, if they were gonna be moved, or it sounded like they were gonna be moved.
Well, do we have the buy-in from all of the homeowners? Because you have to go out and talk to the homeowners and ask them if they are okay with them being moved.
That's the first I knew about it now. Well, we talked about that, yes, but I assumed that, being it's not a public, I call it alleyway. It would be in the city's interest to open it back up, I assume. So I think.
We don't have any,
God, we are not talking.
we don't have any specific issues with the location of the, of the
But
boxes.
it affects 2 other people, that's the only problem. People drive across private property.
Right, but all you gotta do is take Marty with you and knock on doors and say, hey, do you mind if I move your mailbox? Come on, you can do it, Charlie. I got faith in you.
Along with,
Because once you get the approval from the homeowners, then they can just move it right on up to that
it don't
spot.
have nothing to do with the city. It's your public area that's designated as a curb and gutter with bump ups and cutouts.
So I think it's fair to say that the mailbox issue has nothing to do with the city, but we had a council person on their own time go and help find a solution for a location that was in nobody's yard, that nobody would have an issue, that was acceptable to the post office. I think what Kate's saying is, now your part of the job is to go get permission from, and she found somebody to build the mailbox bank.
Well, I did, but they wanna know who's gonna pay for it. They will build it, but then they need the wood bought for them. So I don't know that is actually gonna pan out, and I'm still waiting to hear back from said Boy Scouts to see how much it would cost.
For the wood,
Yeah,
I'll donate the wood.
okay?
All right, you just gotta chat with your neighbors.
And I think the city can do its part and notify people that it's in a public area, which you guys do hold an easement there, don't you?
Yes.
Well, ain't that a public area?
It is, but it's not our mailboxes. So if the council will grant me some way, I think the council needs to make a clear statement of where we're at on this and what our involvement is. We've spent closing in on a couple of hours at meetings on this particular topic.
I've been up here for a couple hours too.
And we've, no offense, Charlie, but I think we've said all that everybody understands the situation. We don't need to rehash it. I think we just need direction on what the city's position is, so staff can do what is directed or not directed.
I think it's time to get it done, because Marty's tired of having cars or vehicles on his. And I have tire tracks from time to time coming across on mine. So, and this year all come to a head after the curb and gutter went in,
I'm looking for direction from the council. Charlie, speak to the council, please.
whatever. But that's what I'm looking for, because it's time now to make a move, because we burnt enough time on this here.
So respectfully, ball's in your court. Talk to your neighbors, make sure it's okay. Buy the wood, the Boy Scouts will build it, and you'll be done.
Easy
It's
peasy.
that simple.
Is it that you don't want to go
talk to
knock
your
on your neighbor's door? I'm confused as to why you're stonewalling this.
The reason why I'm stonewalling is, there's a public easement on.
But it's your mailbox, it's your neighbor's mailbox, it's not the city's mailbox. These are your things.
No, they're not my mailbox. I'm not talking about my mailbox in a way. I can move my mailbox on my private property out of that city right away, no problem. And then people will be able to go up and down that alleyway as they want to. The city changed stuff by putting in curb and gutter. That's what brought this here to a head. Before, they could simply just drive around it and go right onto the asphalt, or drive around it this section.
Yeah, I understand that. I think everybody understands that. We've talked about that.
Within their 16.5 foot.
That too, we've all discussed that. So right now, where it's at, Charlie, you and your neighbor have to go knock on the doors of your neighbors to let them know you're moving it. That's where it's at.
I thought the city could participate because it is a public right of way. The least the city could do is send out letters due to this here project, what we just did, putting in water.
I think we're talking about an hour, Charlie, just knocking on the doors. I don't think that's unreasonable.
Sounds like it's asking a lot from a private person.
Uh,
That's trying to do city work on a public thoroughfare or alleyway or whatever you want to call it.
If that's what you want to call it, the city, that's the city's position.
Well,
The city put mailboxes that were there back where they were there.
just the same as County Road 2. I own property underneath County Road 2, same, and on County Road 27, I own property. And it's a right of way.
When you get permission from your neighbors to move the boxes will be moved. Do you have anything else?
Do you need somebody to go with you to each
That
house?
would be wonderful. A city representative of some kind, because I look really stupid going around talking about mailboxes.
I would,
Because it's a public entity that's blocked.
I think the council has to decide whether it's a city issue or not.
I'm looking at Andrea for
It's,
this one.
it's not a city issue. The property, the owner of the mailbox owns the mailbox, maintains the mailbox, and puts the mailbox where it chooses, as long as it meets city requirements. In this case, while it's the city's easement, the city is fine with the mailboxes there. So it's the owner's responsibility to, if they want to move it or have it moved, to move it to a location that's acceptable to wherever it's being moved.
And the city's gone as far as to provide a location for those mailboxes on city regular property that's acceptable to the post office, that's still within the immediate neighborhood, and is happy with doing the maintenance of mowing around it and everything else, so that there would be no issues with another property owner taking it onto their property. And a council person on their own time went and found somebody, if the materials are provided, to build the mailbox bank. So I think the city has gone beyond, done work on something that isn't a city issue quite a bit to help facilitate the solution to the issue.
Charlie, could you push the button on the mic? Thank you.
If you are looking for somebody that is not in a city council hat and just walking with you, would that be allowed?
It's certainly allowed. It's up to the council whether they want to authorize that or not.
If you wanna go do that, you can go do that.
Cause then we can put this to bed. But I need you guys to okay it, or not okay it, whatever you wanna do.
Well, and honestly, if it's a council member, you certainly can do it on your own initiative as a citizen of the city, but not represent the city.
Right, I would be there as a citizen of the city, not as a council member.
Sure.
Okay. Alright,
So I can come up and park one of my farm wagons in that city easement after the mailboxes are removed?
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, you guys have it blocked with mailboxes. It's not, traffic cannot flow through it as they want.
It's not meant to be.
It's not
a
meant to be
thorough
either.
thoroughfare.
So that's a separate
But
topic.
there's a natural gas line in that alley. And I'm sure from time to time, Minnesota Energy does go up and down that alley.
And they can.
It is not an alley, it's not improved, it's a right-of-way that allows for utilities and utility access and people who have rights to go in there, such as small utilities, to do it. But it is not a utility that provides a right for other individuals, general members of the public, to do it. That area is essentially like any other properties where it's your yard to the middle of that right-of-way, and you can maintain it as your yard, and you have the responsibility to maintain it as yard, but as a city, we and other people who have rights to go in that right-of-way area, like easements around everybody's yard, to deal with utilities, small utilities, et cetera. So if you wanted to go park something in there, as long as it's permitted under code, you certainly could. Although if you're parking, I have to let you know that parking has to be on an improved surface in your property. For short term, if you needed it for a yard project, that wouldn't be a problem.
Very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Anyone else? Okay. That, we'll move on to consent agenda. Any discussion need to be had on that?
Motion to
I was gonna say, can I get a motion to approve consent agenda as presented?
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Looks like one public hearing.
We have I'll give staff report, then the mayor open public hearing for anybody that might be present. Council is asked to hold a public hearing and consider resolution 2546, which would vacate drainage and utility easements upon petition of abutting landowners within Boulder Point 8th edition, or associated with Boulder Point 8th edition. We have a developer who's looking to plat 2 single-family lots. The easements that are already in place with the original platting of that neighborhood would need to be vacated in order for that plat to occur. So the council is being asked to vacate those easements, and as the plat application is moving through. Staff is recommending it. There's no reason not to do it at this particular point in time, because easements will also be reestablished as part of the new plat in that particular location. The vacation of easements does require a public hearing for any interested parties to come and ask questions or provide any additional information as part of that, as testimony in that hearing. Any questions?
Hearing is officially open.
Yep.
Anybody here to address the vacation of easement?
Yep, you can close it.
Seeing none, public hearing is closed.
We can do reports if you'd like.
I'm sorry. Reports? That was kind of all intermixed in there.
Under administration, I have nothing. Corey also had nothing in addition to what was in his written report. Under public works,
I just wanted to say thank you guys for considering another officer. I was not expecting that. I know my guys really will appreciate at least the consideration. It's tough. They're still working by themselves at times. You know, we're scrambling people to cover things, so that means a lot that you guys are at least considering that, and certainly it would be greatly appreciated if that does happen or not. I don't know if you've met Officer Akalia yet. She's been on the road for, this is week 1. Really outgoing. I think she'll be a good fit here. So hopefully you guys see her. I'm trying to get them to bring her around to can introduce her to people. Detective Barry is kicking butt, doing really well. We have sent up several cases already that have gotten convictions or are getting charged, including solicitation of minors, child porn, things like that. So a couple of victims of fraud. We've at least identified the suspects, which is really challenging. So I think it's bearing fruit. And certainly if we can get that moved to a permanent kind of standalone, I think the sky's kind of the limit on what we can maybe ultimately do with that as we build that position up. So thank you for at least getting us to the point where we're at now. That's all I have.
Jay was going to be here at 7 o'clock for his report, so we'll see him later.
I have no report. I have no
We had a meeting today to review the concept plan for the August Ventures property. Joe Sullivan's the owner of it, same gentleman that sold the property behind us to M&I. As you guys know, that's kind of his next project. Had DRT meeting, basically all of our key staff, the developer, plus representation, quite a bit of representation from the township. We had their engineer, their chair, their planning commission representative, and their clerk here. Two of those people live in very close proximity to the project. It was a very good meeting. I think right now the plan is that the concept plan is going to go to the planning commission here in August. You guys can expect to see it in September, and we'll probably be moving forward, I would expect, with annexation in October, November. The plan is at this point for them is to start moving dirt construction season 2026, if they can bring everything together.
I see they're moving dirt across from the,
Senior high rise?
yeah.
They're making it look nice for marketability.
Hey, it looks a heck of a lot nicer.
Looks
yeah.
really
Oh, yeah,
nice.
I didn't know if they had anything that they're specifically doing with it, or,
No, in the discussions we've had with them, you know, the clearing in this is really to put it in a better position for potential development, whether they want to do it themselves or if they want to market it and flip the property. We had a meeting last night. We really hadn't anticipated having a regular meeting till September, but the concept plan for August Ventures came through, so they reviewed that and provided comment on it in time for the DRT meeting today. Under administration, I forgot to mention, we did conduct first-round interviews today for the accounting technician position. We have 3 individuals that are moving on to the second round, so this was a very solid group of candidates that we had. Second round of interviews are next Thursday, so we'll know if somebody moves on to background after that.
Excellent. CCEC.
We meet next week, so I don't have anything for CCEC, just
Sure.
a plug for community picnic next weekend.
What time does it start?
It's 11 to 2. I will send an appointment for that. Setup's around 10, and usually we wrap up by 2:30. It's really quick.
How many people do you need helping with that?
Anybody we can get.
I will be out of town.
Okay.
I've also stolen 2 Public Works people that will be out of town.
We've calculated that to run it efficiently, we need somewhere around 8 to 9 people.
Okay.
We've run it with as few as 5. I can tell you that's not fun.
Okay. Remind me to talk to you after about food.
Okay,
I don't know if I'm, okay,
we'll talk after.
All right, scale.
tomorrow.
Others, or that's tomorrow. Executive committee.
Executive committee, I think the executive committee's tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Scale was last week,
Oh,
general
okay.
membership,
Yeah.
and service delivery is canceled for this month.
Any I-35
is it canceled? Yeah.
canceled? LMC, Metro Cities Policy Committee updates.
We just threw this on there, they started in July, or the first group of meetings. I don't know if anybody else is doing any of those policy committees. I usually do a couple, and it's specifically related to the housing and then local economies for the league, which does a lot of the housing and general government and things like that. I guess the one thing that I want to just clarify and make sure I'm still good in this spot is, as we've talked about over the years, some of the issues that get brought up in this one are specific to some of the stuff that I do on my day-to-day stuff. I work with group homes, assisted livings, things like that. There are a lot of cities that are, we're going through talking about it on a regular basis. And one of the things that some of us are really trying to encourage is more stakeholder engagement, some collaborative ways to work through this. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that I'm very engaged in this topic, both from the provider side, because that's what I do, but then also from the advocacy side, and where we historically have kind of, as a city, kind of generally positioned ourselves as wanting to work together and be collaborative and not be the NIMBY-like community that others are. So,
I'll state it less politely, because of Josh's full-time job, sometimes they suspect that he's not necessarily speaking as a council person, but is speaking as an advocate within his industry.
well, and to be very clear about it, I got my hand slapped after the last meeting of saying you shouldn't really talk as much anymore because you're representing what I believe in from a work personal side, and I'm not representing Elko Newmarket. So I think everybody, I've been clear of where I sit on this, and if anybody has any uncomfortableness, or if I'm not representing our community well, I'll certainly represent how I'm gonna represent for my work and personally, but I won't wear the Elko Newmarket hat. But and where I stand out is because I'm basically the only city person that ever pushes back against this stuff, and it makes them all uncomfortable, and they don't enjoy the conversation as much as I do. So I'm gonna. Well, no, I don't need backup. I just want to make sure that I'm not out of
needs no
bounds. I just want to make sure, like I said, I'm not out of bounds. I will be very respectful of the direction that the council wants me to go in or not go in. But if I have the support of council to continue to do what I've always done, then I'm going to, and really try to leverage it and turn it into a good opportunity. So, I mean, as an example, you know, we have a provider just outside of town, and trying to connect and have them work with the city, work with PD, fire department, township, and come to some solutions. And so using that as a model of, we don't have to play the games of cities going and doing things outside the scope of what cities should do, and really try to bring stakeholders together. I'm trying to encourage that, using us as almost a model of, this is how it could work. We could bring folks in, problem solve, work together, understand all the different perspectives of this issue. But at the city level, and even in the provider side, we put our blinders on, and we focus in on what we have to defend, so.
As I've become aware of some of these issues, what's apparent is that there really needs to be a structural overhaul, but that's very uncomfortable, and it's messy, and it's big, and it's hard, so everybody kind of retreats to their corners and defends their immediate territory. And my opinion is that if the city just simply took a position that Josh could represent, that the policy position of the league in metro cities is that there should be a task force or a collaboration between the various stakeholders to look at real solutions. Pardon, I don't have better language, but that's really what needs to be done. When you listen to the various entities, they all agree, yeah, it's a problem, it needs to be fixed, but there isn't a strong push to get everybody in the room, so to speak. Even although everybody says, oh, we're happy to, nobody's actually really doing it.
I trust you, Josh. Keep doing you.
Agreed.
And if anybody feels uncomfortable at any point, just tell me, and then I'll use my other hat and go that path, so.
You just keep doing you.
Okay.
All right. Do we have to, motion on that?
Yeah, unless there's questions or discussions by council on this item.
Any,
Motion to approve 2546.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion pass. General business, anything in there? No. Seeing none? Move to discussion by council. Any
We
discussions?
need to cover fire.
Oh, yeah.
They're not here.
Jay was planning to be here, but I had told him to be here at 7 because it was a relatively short meeting. If you guys would be willing to give me a minute, I will double check and make sure he's not being held up on a call or something.
Sure.
Did you need to leave? That was a deep sigh.
Well, the way you guys were shutting me up over there, I thought maybe you guys would go somewhere else.
help you dig the hole for the mailbox, or what's going on?
Move people in the village from the bigger private service, so it would make no sense for us to push people away.
Not for typically calls. Oh, okay, yeah.
The chief requested that we move his report to next meeting.
We just
I'll
did
make
a
a
lot
s-
of things. Sorry.
I'll second it, and then, yeah.